Hi everyone, it's Shannon, aka QB Crossing. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Today we are back with another cozy and aesthetic dream island tour. This one is a natural town set in summer. I'm really excited to just tour around it because I love all of the photos that I've seen so far. And I also just wanted to remind you guys that I do have a sweepstakes going on right now. It is for a $30 Amazon gift card, and all you have to do is download Disney Emoji Blitz using the link in my description, get to level 10, screenshot yourself getting to level 10, and DM it to me on Twitter at QB_crossing. So if you guys are interested, be sure to do that. But anyway, let's just get right into the tour. Okay, so first things first, we are going to check out the island map. Let's see what's going on here. So, wow, this looks beautiful already. I love when people are using the in-game paths. This just looks so organized. It just feels like such a beautiful map. So I'm really excited to look and just like walk around this island. Also, lots of cute villagers on this island. I personally am a big fan of Bee, so very, very cute. As always, the dream address is on the screen now if you want to screenshot it, or you can grab it in the description, as well as all of the creators' socials, so be sure to show them some love. So let's just actually start touring around now. Okay, this is such a great start to the island. I am a very big fan of just road codes in general, and I love that this one is a little bit more natural. It's kind of worn out, a little bit distressed. I think that that's really fun because like what they're doing here is they're able to actually put in some trees and things like that, which you can do when you have a code that is a little bit more worn away and doesn't need to be on every single tile. This is really pretty. It really gives off a bit of a like natural Japanese vibe, which I like a lot, and I believe that they said that many areas are inspired by like landmarks in Japan or just different places in Japan. So I know that that was an inspiration for this island, and I'm definitely seeing it already. This is just flowing so beautifully right off the bat. I'm tempted to go by the dirt, but I think we'll just start like to the left first because I see this resident rep house here and it just adds so much brightness to this space. We have this bright white house, and against all of the greenery and this concrete road, it's just really pretty. We also have some trash on the street, so it definitely gives a realistic vibe throughout here, as well as just so many cute little natural elements lining these paths. I really am liking this island already. I just can tell that this is going to be a favorite of mine, and I probably knew that already by just some of the creators' posts on Instagram. But this is just so well done. I love over there all of the laundry. We have a little bit of a industrial vibe too with some of those oil barrels, so that's really cool to see. And then this pathing just really makes the island, everything feels so structured and like in its perfect little place, which I just think is great. I'm going to just pan the camera around here because look at this view. I will get out of the frame because that is just absolutely stunning. I don't even have words right now. That right angle is just giving me life, and all of the wheat fields just blowing in the wind. And I like that they're using two different colors for the wheat fields. It definitely gives it a little bit more dimension and just adds a little something to the overall color palette. Over here, it looks like we have another villager house right on the peninsula, which I always think is actually a really great idea. If you can get a building of any sort on your peninsula, I think it always looks good. And if you don't have a big peninsula, like this creator here didn't have a ton of space to work with, so they actually put the house over to the right and then use the peninsula as a yard, which is just such a good idea. And it looks like this has a little bit of an arcade and some other little vending machines up here. So maybe it's supposed to be more of a shop and less of a villager house. Also, the fact that they've lined this cliff with some of these outdoor stalls, that just really makes it feel like you're immersed in this city or this town, which is a really good idea since it does feel like some roofing is over to the sides. And look at how nicely this flows into this natural ramp right here. I just am loving the mixture of the natural and then more of these pathed out areas. So we have a little transition here. There's also some stuff over on the beach, like we have some of the boats down there, which is just really nice that they've actually decorated all of their beaches, since we all know I almost never decorate beaches, but I love when other creators do. I just think that it's great. If you can decorate your beaches and a whole island, you are just a real inspiration to me. So this transition area over here is just so beautiful. I really love the way that this sand bridge looks and the way that it's connecting these two areas. There's not a ton of water on this island, so it feels really intentional when they're keeping in the rivers or any of these waterways. And this is just really, really nice over here, the way that they've laid this out. And then kind of a diagonal farm in a way. We have crops on both sides, and this is actually another villager neighborhood of sorts. So we have one house over here. I think that's the yuzu bath, and just lots of these like wheat crops as well. And then over here, just some other really cute elements. This bubble machine is actually one of my favorite items ever in the game. I love the way that the bubbles fly out. It adds so much to a space, so I really like that they added that in. And just look at all the pathing work here on this dirt pathing. It's so pretty the way that they've layered this gorgeous like greenery and stone code right on top of that in-game dirt pathing. And they've actually used a code to make the dirt path diagonal, which is really, really good. We have a little bit of a farmer's market or a little stall over here. This just feels so perfect. I feel like this is somewhere realistic. It feels like somewhere that you've maybe been before, which I just think is so amazing that people can achieve that with this game. Again, this diagonal path is just so good. I will never get sick of the diagonal pathing, so obviously a big fan of that. As we come down here, we actually have another villager house, and it looks like, I don't know what this is, maybe this is where you kind of sign up for some sports or camping, I don't know, but I really like this. I probably just butchered what this area is supposed to actually be, but it definitely has a little bit of this like overground playground feel. I meant overgrown, not overground. Overground, oh my gosh, overgrown playground. I'm not even gonna cut this out so you guys could just hear how much I mess up during these tours. But anyway, I really do like this area. And again, we're getting a little bit of, I don't want to call it trash core because I don't know if that's what the creator was going for, but definitely feels realistic with some of the items that they're using over here with the trash bags and the tires. And over here we have another little transition with this bridge, which is really nice. And this just leads over to some other cute little stalls and things back to the very back of the island. So this is a nice little walkway back here. I like that it just feels like a strip of some different stalls and shops. We have the vending machines as well. And this is just a good way to kind of fill up a backside of your island. And then over here we have another villager house, and they actually have all the big rocks behind them. So they actually use that to their advantage, put some boats on there, and then made this a little bit of a fishing themed house. We have lots of fish on display. We have the fish drying racks. Overall, just looks so, so good. So how do we get around from here? I wonder if, I think that this kind of like blocks us off this way. So we may just have to loop back around and see how we can get to some other parts of the island, because we still have to see the center and the front of the island. So I think our best bet is to come back up this way. I don't know if there was any ladders anywhere, but I think I'm just gonna come up this incline and then we'll head over to the right of the island once we figure out how to actually get back on the main pathing. Oh, there's a whole bridge back there too. Yeah, we're definitely missing a couple of turns somewhere. So let's just run through and maybe go from the front or center of the island. So we went to the left, and now we're going to go a different direction. We're actually going to go right up here by where resident services was. So we have this really nice mixture of the dirt pathing with this more concrete pathing, really cute codes again, all on top of that. And this leads you to resident services. While we're at resident services, I just want to note that the creator has made quite a few of these codes, so I'll put them on the screen if there's anything that you're interested in, and of course I'll have the code in the description as well. But it is amazing because this creator did make some of their own codes, which I am just a big fan of. I've never been one to actually make codes on my own island, so I feel like that's really cool when creators can actually make codes as well as their own island. This little area behind resident services is really nice as well. A lot of work done with making these kind of faux buildings and the stalls. Oh my gosh, look at that view and how pretty this is over here. Wow, my jaw almost dropped when we kind of walked up here. This is so pretty. You could see as I'm panning the camera that there's actually a bridge back there in the distance, but I just love this diagonal pathing and the way that they've terraformed. That's so, so good. And then we have another villager house over here up on the cliffs. And then let's see what else. We have another villager house if you continue walking this way. I feel like there's so many villagers on this island, and I love the way that they're really focusing on all these villager yards and really giving them space on this island. There's also, it looks like back here, a backyard for this villager house. So they have some bikes over here, and I really like the way that they're kind of fencing that in as well. I don't see that a lot, so I feel like that's a really good piece for inspiration there. So along this path here, we have some crops and some farmy elements. And then as we continue, I just love the way that they're decorating these dirt paths all throughout. It looks really, really good. And let's actually go up here because I think this is where that bridge was that we had seen from a distance. So this is really cool because now we're getting a view of where we were down before. That actually just looks so beautiful. Look at these two bridges just kind of in the same frame as each other. It looks so great when you pan your camera around, and the different like asphalt code that they're using there looks a little bit more maybe like cobblestone almost, but we have a truck and then a regular car kind of passing by each other. So again, really going for that realistic look and feel all throughout. Also, those little waterfalls on the left side, the terraforming is just so good throughout this island. And I always want to just point out how amazing it is on some of these more structured islands that the creators are still doing a lot of terraforming on these, which is, you know, not easy. Over here, we have just some other great details around the path. We have some more stalls, some gazebos, and they've done a lot of work too for these, like I said, these faux buildings. So we have these little outdoor stalls facing each other with some air conditioning up on the top with those fans. It feels like so real. And I don't know, I can't get over how smart some of these item combinations are. So coming down this incline here, we are then brought to this little pathway, and this is so cute. I also like the way that they're using these curtains in front of the outdoor stalls. That's really, really smart. It just feels like a real store, I guess. And we have a couple other villager houses back here, kind of lined with some panels as well. And then this behind us is actually that area that we already ran through before, since that is the back of the island. But everything is actually super easy to get around on this island, so I don't think you'll get lost if you come here. I mean, maybe you will, because I kind of did in the beginning, but otherwise I think it's really pretty easy to get around. Before we go over to the left, I think we'll continue to the right side of the island and finish up over here. This looks like it may be a grocery store. And I really do like that they're using these villager houses to make them into actual storefronts, which is such a great idea. Again, we know that we don't have like a lot of different types of buildings to use in this game. So if you can just get creative the way that this creator is, we can make all the different stores that we'd like pretty much. Looks like maybe, I don't know if this is supposed to be a graveyard. I could be totally wrong. But I think that maybe that's what we're in right now. Also, look at this code, this water code over here and the train tracks, and then using the cave as a tunnel for the train tracks. This is seriously genius. I'm going to open up the camera again because, I mean, this is such a beautiful view. It feels like everything I would want out of a more like natural farmy island. And I just love the codes that they're using. I actually really need to find that code. I'm going to try to find it if possible, to put it in the description. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see that the farm totally extends up here as well. So I don't know what type of farm, or like if there is a name for this type of farm where you have the waterways coming out around the land, but I've seen this done a few different times, and every time I see it, I just absolutely love it. It always just looks like such a breathtaking design, and it's just such a great like filler space on your island too. I'm not saying that this creator did it as filler, because I think that this obviously matches their island so well. But I do think a big farm like this is a great idea if you need to fill up some space, and it just looks so good. I really love this, and I love that you can actually go onto these different sections of the farm also. I just am blown away by this whole composition here. I think let's see what's over to the right side of resident services. We may have missed a couple things down and back to the right, but we will still loop around over there. So over here, just some more really great combinations of codes, really inspired by just the way that they're laying out their codes. Everything looks really good. And oh, I just noticed that there's actually a whole pathway up to the front of resident services. So if we were to go follow the path over to the right, this would actually lead us over here where we have some other really cute areas, like this very realistic construction zone. Let's see if we continue this way, what else is going on here. Oh, we have a little fishing area. I'm a big fan of fishing areas, and I like that they actually just kept that river mouth where it is. They just kept it as is and did not worry about trying to make that accessible. They actually just made it a fishing area, which is super smart if you're thinking about what to do with the river mouths on your island. I know that's something that a lot of us struggle with, just what to do with them, how to decorate around them. So great idea to just keep it as is and make it something functional. Over here, a little bit of a basketball court, a little place for maybe some kids to play. But I think we have to get back behind where we were before, because that seemed to be kind of blocked off. So we're gonna wrap back around here and continue looking at everything else on the right side of the island. So coming back this way, we have a couple more stalls over here. This is really cute with the lucky cats. And again, they're just doing so much work with these stalls and these faux buildings. So if you're someone who likes to make these kind of fake buildings, you're going to probably get a lot of inspiration from this island. This is, again, a great way of just laying out these different road codes. I can't say it enough, but it feels very realistic. And over here we actually have a bridge, which is super cool because it feels like we're kind of entering a different part of the island now. Just the codes that are being used, the bridges and the inclines over here are kind of different than anything we've seen. And this leads us to this very Japanese feeling garden and this house, this villager house over here. This is really pretty. All the different decorative pots that they're using and the plants and flowers, everything. I would want to live in this house. This is a house that I would request to live in if I was a villager on this island. Love that. And you have all of the water in the background. Over here, this is another great view that I should probably just open up the camera and look at, because we have a intersection over here, and then behind we have like this little open flag, the crosswalk sign. Definitely feels like we're in more of the city part of the island, and this is actually like the shopping district, because we have nooks over here which they've totally decorated the front of with different like stalls and things to buy, so it's also an outdoor shop. And then over to the right is actually Able Sisters. So all of your clothing needs are over here also. I really like that they just kind of made this whole like city area in one section. Also, on the right side of the island, we have a train track just leading through here. So I think that that's a really nice way that they filled up probably this empty area on this island. And it just feels like it connects all the other pieces really well. We also have a bridge connecting this these old train tracks over here. And this actually leads us to this really cool farm area in front of the museum. So they completely blocked off the museum I'm sure that this is a specific type of farm that I'm probably not sure what it is, but I really like that they're using those different stools there as well. Look at how pretty this farm is. Like I said, they're terraforming their compositions, the way we're getting so many cool diagonals and just different shapes on this island. This is just so pretty, and again, so well done. I am just like wanting to open up my camera every single place that we go to on this island because, like I said, the designs are just so good and the layouts are amazing. I think we still have to go back behind Nook's Cranny, so let's just come back here. I saw that there was an incline, so I want to just wrap up this way. Okay, so over here we have another little transition area, and look at this view right here. If we open up the camera, you can actually see that there's, just in this one frame, we're getting a bridge and 2 inclines. That is really pretty. I think it's really hard to figure out your transition areas, and this is obviously really well done. It feels like it flows so beautifully also. And this also just leads you to another part of the cliff that's decorated. We have the outdoor bath. It feels very zen throughout here. And every little section is decorated, which we all know is definitely really hard to do. And then up here, it looks like we can get another view of this farm. How cool is this? Oh my gosh, wait, I did not even realize. Look at all of those, what are they, volcanoes back there? They look like mountains though, which is so good. Wow, that is such a amazing view here. I love this lookout area. That is so well done. And if you guys know me, you know I love when creators are thinking about all the different layers of their island, all the different levels, and are actually thinking about the different views that you can get from different spaces. So I really like this. Over here, we can also get a view of this more fishing house area. Super pretty. Oh no, I think I got myself stuck. Here we go. And I also really like the bunnies over here. They look super cute. Let's see, we can actually go this way too. So I just noticed that there's a couple other details over here to look at. And then we have actually this natural ramp over here, which leads to this villager house over here, which is kind of hidden. And it looks like some cool stuff is going on here. I'm not sure what, but it has a very like industrial rusty vibe, and it looks kind of cool. I don't know, I'm very intrigued by a lot of areas on this island. Wow, this is such a fun layout. I feel like I said, it flows really well, but it's also so interesting the way that they're actually laying out these spaces. It doesn't feel like an island that I've been to before. So again, always really inspiring to see different types of islands and different layouts, especially when you're starting to feel stuck with your island. I know I love visiting islands and seeing just different ways to maybe approach what I'm doing, even if the theme is way different than what I'm actually working on. So I think that we probably saw everything on this island. I hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments, what you'd like to see next. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.